Alright guys, so we have some more leaks on the Galaxy A34 and A54. It looks like this is going to be more of a definitive answer to our questions on what the specifications are going to actually be. So we're going to state those in this video right now. If you guys want to read this article on your own time, I'll leave a link in the description down below. But as you guys can see, the headline says Samsung Galaxy A54 and A34 specs leak. The Samsung Galaxy A54 and Galaxy A34 are two of the most anticipated mid-rangers this year. Finally, we now have some more detailed specs to go through after the two smartphones appeared in leaked renders earlier. Now, this article was uploaded February 22nd, 2023, as you guys can see. So this is a brand new article, and it says the leak comes from 91 Mobiles and shows the Galaxy A54 and the Galaxy A34 color options, which we're going to pop on the screen right here. These are what they're going to look like. As you guys can see, for the A54 on the top, we're going to have that lime green color and that white on the right side. For the Galaxy A34, I'm really liking that purple color, and the one on the right next to the purple one, I don't even know what that is. That looks super weird. We'll get into detail right there in a second, but it says more interestingly, it confirms the Galaxy A54 will ship with a 6.4 inch 120 Hz OLED panel, an Exynos 1380. That looks like it's really confirmed now, because it looks like every other company has written an article about the 1380 this week, so it's probably most likely going to be the 1380. I know some people are going to be mad at that, but let's test it first and let's see if it holds up to the price of the phone when it actually comes out, and let's not riot yet. But if it's bad, there's going to be some bad blood with Samsung from some of the customers for sure. And up to 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage. Now it says up to, but I don't know why they're not stating the base model. It would be beautiful, Samsung, if you guys put 8 GB of RAM and 256 storage for your base model. And it would be even greater if this article didn't post the highest RAM and highest storage one that's going to cost $100 more. We want the base prices and we want the base model. So hopefully 8 gigs of RAM is going to be the base model. That would be great. It looks like it is from what I've been seeing so far on some other articles. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think with all of the detective work that you guys have been doing thus far on the A54. Let me know. But of course, 8 GB of RAM, 256 memory. I'm hoping that's what the RAM is. I'm really hoping. And it says for the cameras, obviously a triple camera setup. We're going to have a 15 megapixel f.18 aperture main camera. On the back, we'll be joined by a 12 megapixel f2.2 ultra wide. So we have an ultra wide on this phone and a 5 megapixel macro units. I think they meant to say units. While the selfie camera will have a 32 megapixel sensor. So looking decent so far. I'm sure we went over that before. The big thing that I'm hoping for on that is just like what they did with the Galaxy A53, they just kind of tweaked the software a little bit. I think the A53's camera was really good. Actually, they did a good job with the software for like the 4K and the 1080p 60 and 30. I think they did a really good job tweaking the problems that we had in the A52. So I'm hoping that we just tweak the software a little bit more in the A54 and give us some better quality than we saw from last year, because it looks like the megapixels and stuff didn't change, and those don't really mean anything anyway. So hopefully the sensor was upgraded and the software was even more optimized than last year's. The phone draws power from a 5000 milliamp battery with a 25 watt charging support, which is always great to see. And the report also mentions IP67 certification against water and dust and a retained 3.5 millimeter audio jack. It appears then that the Galaxy A54 will be a minor upgrade over last year's A53, except for the chipset, which we hope will be a significant step forward. Absolutely. I'm hoping that actually does happen. Maybe a few other treats in there. I don't want to be that pessimistic about this phone. I think there's going to be some other things that have changed. Obviously, the body, I think, is going to look better. I think the style in general, that more minimalistic approach, looks good. And I'm interested in what materials they're going to be using, because if they use the same as the A14 that we got right there, that's not cool. Now it says for the Samsung Galaxy A34, on the other hand, is rumored to run on a Dimensity 1080 chip with up to 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of storage, and feature a 6.6 inch 120 Hz OLED screen. The camera setup on the back will consist of a 48 megapixel f1.8 main shooter, a 5 megapixel macro unit, and depth sensor. And the front is going to be equipped with a 13 megapixel f2.2 snapper. The Galaxy A34 will feature an identical 5000 milliamp battery with the same 25-watt charging support. Both handsets are said to be running One UI 5.0 on top of Android 13, although chances are they will launch with the newer One UI 5.1. So as you guys know, with the Galaxy A14 5G that just released, that device has kind of like a lighter version of Android. It has One UI 5.0 like core. So it's kind of like a light version of the regular Android. So we kind of get skimped out with some of the features on the A14. So it looks like this is going to have the regular UI 5.0 or 5.1. And we're going to have some more premium features, of course, with the regular UI, which I'd hope they have, since it's going to be a lot more than the Galaxy A14, seeing that that's a $199 phone, and these devices are going to be around $400 or $500 or even $600, they're speculating. So hopefully they're not that expensive, but these specifications are looking all right. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, but if you guys have any other leaks or information, of course, let the people know in the comment section down below. But again, this has been Fallen from TechRight. Peace out, Tech Gang.